Hello to today's lesson. Today we're going to talk about Texas cities. Texas, it's an X that kind of shows the panhandle of the state. Texas, and then this is the sign cities because it looks like the roofs of houses. Texas cities. Now, just to let you know, my list is more based on geographic significance than it is on population numbers. So let's go ahead and get started. Starting up in the panhandle and moving down south through the state, we're going to start with Amarillo. Amarillo. Your flat hand is weak and to the side. Your dominant hand is an A and it wiggles away. Amarillo. Just south of that is the city of Lubbock. It's an L, taps at your temple, palm out. Lubbock. Next we have Fort Worth. Again, it's a similar setup to Amarillo, but it's FW. Kind of moves down your hand. Fort Worth. You need to be really careful with that sign because while these aren't vocabulary words, there are several that look just like that. Weatherford is just like it, but backwards. Weatherford. And Wichita Falls. So you got to watch carefully when somebody uses that sign, but we're just focusing on Fort Worth. Many of you live in, and our school is located in North Richland Hills, NRH. Now, you can use that sign with people in the Metroplex, but you get too far out of the area and people are not going to recognize that sign. But here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, you can sign NRH and people know what you mean. Our neighbor to the east is Dallas. Again, similar to the sign for Lubbock, but now with a D. So it's a D, palm in at your temple. Next we have El Paso, clear on the western edge of Texas. Many people tell me this is their absolute favorite sign ever. It's kind of fun. And it looks like this. Do you get the joke? It's kind of a pun. Because it's an L and an O, and the L passes the O. Now, this sign tends to break the rules. Usually it's only your dominant hand that moves and your weak hand stays still. But in this case, it's always your left hand that moves and your right hand that stays still. Because the L passes the O. El Paso. The city of Midland is in the Permian Basin with its neighbor Odessa. The sign is Midland. If you've ever been there, you know that there's not a whole lot going on except oil derricks. So it's an M that moves back and forth, Midland. Again, you don't need to know this, but its partner city, Odessa, kind of looks similar. Midland's important to the oil industry. It's also the only Starbucks in 400 miles. So that makes it significant to many people as well. In the center of the state is our capital, Austin, which looks just like Texas. So Austin with an A. About 45 minutes south of that is the city of San Antonio. So it's a G just above your lip. Legend has it, and I'm not sure if this is true, but my understanding is it was for a time the fashion in San Antonio to wear big handlebar mustaches. And so that's how they got that sign, San Antonio. East of that on the coast is the city of Houston. So it's kind of probably supposed to be an H, but it ends up more of a U that taps palm out next to your chin. Houston. And again, not one you have to know, but just a freebie that goes with it, Galveston. South of that, along the coast, is the city of Corpus Christi. Corpus Christi. In case you're curious, Corpus Christi is Spanish for the body of Christ. On the border across from that is the city of Laredo. Laredo. It used to be Laredo, but there was rules. But with rules about guns in school, the name sign was changed to holster that weapon. Laredo. And last but not least, on the border by the sea is the city of Brownsville, BV. So again, part of that same structure, Amarillo, Fort Worth. I did that wrong. Amarillo, Fort Worth. Now we have Brownsville. So that is a tour of Texas cities. There are plenty more Texas cities that have name signs, but these are just the ones we're starting with today. I hope you learned something. Happy signing.